Rude teens spit on a veteran's grave, but what the bikers did next shocked everyone. The morning sun cast long shadows over the quiet cemetery, its golden light brushing gently against rows of weathered headstones. Birds sang softly in the distance, as if paying their own silent respects. Among the graves stood a group of rugged men and women clad in leather jackets adorned with patches that read, "The Iron Brothers." Their motorcycles, gleaming chrome beasts, were parked respectfully at the edge of the path. At the center of the group stood Bear, a mountain of a man with a grizzled beard and eyes that held decades of pain and loyalty. He knelt before a simple stone etched with the name Danny Cole, beloved soldier, brother, father. Every year, without fail, Bear came here to honor his best friend, the man who gave his life shielding civilians during an ambush overseas. As Bear placed a folded American flag beside the grave, laughter echoed from the road. A teenage boy, no older than 16, sauntered in wearing ripped jeans and a smirk that screamed arrogance. He stopped near Danny's grave, rolled his eyes, and muttered something under his breath. "Still crying over dead guys?" he scoffed. Bear rose slowly, turning to face the boy. "This dead guy saved dozens of lives," he said, voice low but firm. The teen shrugged. "Whatever, he's gone. Who cares?" Then, without warning, he leaned forward and spat on Danny's headstone. Silence fell like a hammer. Roxy, one of the few women in the group and a veteran herself, stepped forward. Her eyes glistened with unshed tears. "My brother died in the same war as Danny. He was 19, barely older than you. He wrote me letters every week, telling me not to worry, that he was doing something important." The teen looked away, arms crossed. "That's sad and all, but it's got nothing to do with me." Bear didn't yell. He didn't threaten. Instead, he walked toward his bike, started the engine, and the deep rumble filled the air like thunder. One by one, the other bikers followed suit until the entire group roared to life. "Get on," Bear said, pointing to the seat behind him. "What? No way," the teen snapped. "You disrespected a hero. Now you're going to learn why that matters." Reluctantly, and partly out of fear, the boy climbed on. The convoy of bikes roared out of the cemetery, leaving dust and silence behind. 20 minutes later, they pulled into a small roadside diner called Hero's Corner. Inside, the walls were covered with photographs, soldiers smiling in uniform, families holding flags, handwritten letters framed under glass. A bell jingled as they entered. An elderly woman behind the counter smiled warmly. "Bear, good to see you again." "Maggie," Bear nodded. "This young man needs to understand what Danny meant, not just to me, but to everyone here." Over plates of warm pie and coffee, Bear began to speak. He told the boy how Danny had carried 2 wounded children to safety while bullets flew around him, how he'd whispered, "Tell my girl I love her," just before he closed his eyes for the last time, and how every Sunday, without fail, Danny's daughter, now 12 years old, visited his grave with fresh flowers. "She doesn't even remember his voice," Bear said, voice cracking, "but she knows his heart because we keep telling his story." The boy sat silently, his earlier bravado crumbling. He stared at a photo on the wall, a young soldier holding a baby. Beneath it read, "Sergeant Marcus Lee, KIA 2015, missed every birthday since." Maggie brought over a worn journal. "Danny used to come here before deployment," she said gently. "He'd write letters to his daughter in this book, said if anything happened to him, she'd always have his words." She opened it. Neat handwriting filled the pages. "My sweet Lily, today I saw a butterfly. I thought of you." Tears welled in the boy's eyes. For the first time, he wasn't seeing a cold stone. He was seeing a father, a hero, a man who loved deeply and sacrificed everything. When they returned to the cemetery, the sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Without a word, the boy walked to Danny's grave. He pulled a handkerchief from his pocket, clean, white, and knelt. Slowly, Carefully, he wiped away the spit, then brushed off every speck of dirt. "I'm sorry," he whispered, voice trembling. "I didn't know." Bear placed a heavy hand on his shoulder. "Now you do." The boy looked up, eyes red but sincere. "Can I come back next year with you guys?" Bear smiled, a rare, warm smile that reached his eyes. "You're one of us now, son." As the bikes rumbled away into the twilight, the boy stood a little taller. The wind carried the scent of blooming jasmine, and somewhere in the distance, a child laughed. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more stories of hope, healing, and second chances to people around the world. Don't forget to drop a comment below. Tell us where you're watching from and whether you believe everyone deserves a chance to change. Because sometimes, all it takes is one moment of grace to turn disrespect into reverence and a lost soul into a guardian of honor. Thanks for watching.